Hello and welcome to another edition of SVG News Sponsor Spotlight. Christian Hernandez here with Sports Video Group. Pleased to be joined by our friends at Genius Sports. We just so happen to be speaking with Sean Conroy. He's the Executive Vice President for North America. Sean, how you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, Christian. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Very happy to have Genius Sports as part of the SVG family. You guys do a lot of work in sports. There's no mistaking that. But if someone doesn't know who Genius Sports is and what you guys do in the market, what's some of the overview of the solutions and products that you kind of give to clients in the sports industry?
So we're a technology business. We're a B2B technology provider. And essentially at our core, we take data and we use AI to generate content, particularly personalized content experiences for both broadcasters, streaming companies, betting companies, brands, and advertisers. We have relationships with leagues and rights holders. We create content and information off the back of those to service the different customers that I've described in those different areas.
There you go. Let's talk about those leagues and then the partnerships that you have with those, because not only is it domestically in the United States, but it's also abroad. So talk about some of the examples of partners that you're recently working with.
Yeah, so we work with over 400 leagues and federations around the world, including some of the largest, such as the Premier League and the NFL here in the US, as well as smaller federations across basketball and volleyball and soccer the world over. Essentially, what we do in our relationships with the leagues is we put technology into stadia that allows us to capture very advanced data sets, billions and billions of data points per game, that allow us to then create really interesting live content off the back of those systems and deliver those into our partnership base across the broadcast space, as well as across the betting space and with brands.
Sure. And excuse me, building off of those relationships, moving forward as the industry, continues to move forward and change, what are some of the trends that you're seeing, whether it's legalized sports betting or second screen experiences? What's Genius kind of seeing in the market right now?
Yeah, so there's probably a few that I would call out. So I'll give you an example of some of the work that we're doing with the Premier League at the moment, the English Premier League. We have a deal both with the Premier League as well as with the Premier League Productions. And as your audience will probably be familiar, Premier League Productions are responsible for producing the world feed that then gets passed out to the Premier League's broadcasters around the world, as well as also supporting some of the work domestically. What's really interesting in terms of sort of industry trends and how our friends at the Premier League are thinking about things is they're understanding that there's a significant global appeal, of course, for the Premier League. However, fans in different parts of the world have different expectations, have different interests, have different understanding levels around the game. And so one of the things that we put together for the Premier League is an alternative feed, which we produce in partnership with Premier League Productions, that uses some of the advanced data and statistics that we collect to produce sort of a very data and stats and content heavy alternate feed that then we take out together to the broadcasters internationally and offer up as a different way to view the game. So, for example, as I'm here in New York, I have the opportunity to watch the Premier League on NBC. I can watch either the main sort of primary broadcast, and I can also watch this sort of data heavy broadcast, and I have choice. I have choice as a consumer, and that's a really important principle, I think, in terms of what we're doing and in terms of how consumer expectations are changing. That we are now afforded the ability through the technology that we provide to offer different and differentiated viewing experiences that can be much more tailored to a particular fan's interest.
Sure, without a doubt. And if younger centric, I guess digital centric viewers want to get into the Premier League or what have you, they can watch the traditional broadcast, but also get kind of the number crunching in that.
Yeah, exactly. And you make a really good point. I think one of the kind of sort of macro changes, I would say, to the industry and the consumer base around not just how people are consuming live sports, but obviously entertainment more broadly, is more and more people around the world are consuming content on digital devices. So whether that be on a phone, looking at content through a social media platform, or whether that be through a streaming platform. Obviously, a lot of the big technology companies now are beginning to move into live sports. We see Amazon, Apple, Google, YouTube in this space, as well as some of the more traditional media businesses shifting their focus into their streaming platform. And what that enables and allows for us to do, if you're consuming content on a smart device, we understand things about you as a consumer. So if you have that data set, you have the ability to understand who a consumer is and where they are and what their interests are. Then you couple that with very rich live data. You can marry those two data sets, and our perspective and where we're going as an organization in terms of our thesis for how viewing of sports is going to develop over the next period of time is that we're going to get much closer now to a one-to-one personalization of content. We think that, there will still be a large cohort that will want to watch the, NFL on a Sunday night in the same way that they do today. But actually, increasingly, we believe there'll be an expectation, and we believe that it will be positive for engagement, particularly for younger fan bases and more diverse fan bases, to actually have one-to-one personalization of content and have a different experience based on your preferences. The technology we've built, and we acquired a business called Second Spectrum, who have a very advanced technology set that allows us to deliver content in this way. We believe now that we've entered this point where there's a pretty significant shift now into digital consumption that is going to enable the ability for rights holders, broadcasters, streamers, anyone participating in the ecosystem to take this technology and use it to enable true one-to-one personalization, which not only will drive engagement, fan engagement, and better sort of more enhanced viewing experiences, it will also allow us to optimize advertising and sponsorship delivery. Because again, if you know who someone is, you know their preferences, you know how they want to consume content, you can integrate your advertising and your sponsorship messages in a much more intelligent and thoughtful way, utilizing the AI.
Sure, without a doubt. Genius has a very impressive portfolio, and with a couple months left in 2023, we're very much looking forward to cover what you guys are up to soon. But for now, Sean, thank you for taking the time. Welcome to the SVG family, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Christian.